Okay, water tower.
Well, Eric has finished all his work. DNR is
Signed on.
signed off, and I think everything's coming to a head. Excuse me, I got a horse in my throat today. We've been waiting on the environmental release, and we got that this week. I think you, Tammy, you got most copies of these emails and everything. This was from Kate Busimus at DNR. She says, please find attached a copy of the clearance letter for the early drinking water project. A hard copy will be sent to you in the mail. I've also attached an electronic copy of the bid list. And what the letter is just, first of all, they give you a survey that they want you to fill out as to how they did on the process. Your feedback is important. It says, we issued a finding of no significant impact on March 4th. 30 days have passed and we have not received any comment from the public. Therefore, the environmental review is done. The department must issue a construction permit before any construction takes place. I got an email then from Michael Anderson yesterday that says, Neil, I just signed off on, approved the early construction permit this morning. All looks good. So, like I say, the things just kind of, the dominoes now are falling and coming into place. Then we also got what's called a bid document checklist, that once we take the bids, we have a bunch of stuff with like the bid and the addenda and the contracts and all that kind of stuff that we have to put together. So they send us a checklist for all that stuff. So this is all routine. This is all the stuff that we usually get about this time. And then the loan process. If you've not already, you should contact Tracy Skivold at Iowa Finance by email to start the loan process. And what you have to do, but we won't do this until you get the bids because we won't know the exact amount. But you're on an intended use plan for the money. Once you know what the price is going to be, then you have to actually submit a loan, and either I or Marshall will help you, Tammy, with that process. You probably have the forms already that you know what that is, but it's an application that's online for the ones. It's only a couple pages.
Okay.
Didn't very long at all. And then it says the city's bond council will advise you how to take out a bond, so your bond council will walk you through that at that time too. So those kind of things, like I say, the dominoes just kind of fall in place. Eric's got a set. This is what we will be sending out. You might just lay it there. This is what we'll be sending out to all the bidders. This afternoon I put together a letter that tomorrow morning, if you approve going forward, will go out to all prospective bidders that we know of. People who have bid on our projects or that are on our list. And also to a bunch of plan holding agencies. Now these are agencies that contractors contract with, like Master Builders of Iowa or Dodge Reports or some of these other companies like this. We provide them with free copies. They have lists that they shoot this out to, all the contractors. So you blanket the field. Then the last thing that you have to do, which hardly anybody sees, unfortunately, but that's the legal thing that you have to put in the paper. And that's part of this, but what I will do tomorrow is I will send you an electronic, whoops, it's not that, it's in these proceedings. I'll send you an electronic copy tomorrow of that you can then get to your paper.
Okay.
And that'll need to be put in between the 13th and the 23rd. In one, what is your paper?
The Chronicle.
That's the Oracle?
Yeah.
Okay. Just need to put it in once.
Okay.
Sometime it needs to be published between the 13th and the 23rd.
Okay.
What it is, it's 4 to 20 days before either your bid or your hearing. And what we're going to recommend is that your bids be taken on the 28th and that your hearing be the 3rd of May. And that's what's in here. So I'll send that to you tomorrow, Tammy, that you can then email on to whoever you do with the paper. So this is the spec book. The contractor will fill out we will give them a loose copy of this also, but the bid form is bound in the book. And what we have is a bid schedule of how many items are 18 items in section 1 and 2 items in
Two
section
items
2.
in section 2.
They will fill out unit prices for 6-inch water main open cut, 6-inch water main directionally drilled. They'll extend those prices. They'll add all of these up and come down to a total bid for Division 1. Now, we're bidding in 2 divisions. Division 1 is the water mains, and Division 2 is the water tower. So there'll be a total bid for Division 1. I would expect, we have been getting a lot of bidders on projects like that. Odebolt, we had 13 bids on that project down there. Now, there's a lot of earth moving there too, but I expect you're gonna get 7, 8, 9 bids, you know, on this from water main contractors. Then Division 2 is the elevated water tower, and we just have 2 items there. One is lump sum for the water tower, and the second one is lump sum to tear down the old water tower. And here, you're not going to get as many bids, and we aren't probably going to be able to predict that price very well at this time because of steel, the way steel prices have been going. But you'll probably get 3 or 4 bids. McGuire Iron up in Sioux Falls, Phoenix Fabricators, I think they're in Indiana, Pittsburgh Tank and Tower, maybe Caldwell. There's 3 or 4. We will send letters out to those. They will also see it through these other advertising means, but there just aren't an awful lot that sell towers in this size. But you'll get a competitive bid, but just the steel prices scare me as to what they've been doing. And so then they will sign that, and they will also furnish you a bid bond. The rest of this then is all the boilerplate, the general conditions, Davis-Bacon wage rates that they have to provide. We get to the back of it, it's all the technical stuff, what kind of pipe they need to buy, how they need to dig their trenches, fill in, clean up.
Disinfection.
Yeah. Connections and flushing and all that kind of stuff, all the technical stuff that they have to do. And then in the back are bound the plans themselves. And every connection, every fire hydrant, every street, sidewalk crossing that has to be replaced, it's all been detailed in there, all the services. Eric has spent a lot of time on doing this. All the notes that we want to point out to the contractor, things that he has to do on those pages. There's about
9 water sheets.
Yep, 9 water sheets. And then there's an elevated water tower sheet. And we've detailed how that is to be done, what accessories need to be put in. There's also a specification section on the water tower as to how that's to be designed and all that stuff. The water main comes up along the west side of the property and then angles in with the water tower sitting in the middle of that 50 by 50 square that you bought up there from the church.
That elevation is
254, and the base is a 112. That's 144 feet. Which you divide that by 2.31 to get the pressure, so it's just a little over
40.
40 to 45 at the base of that tower.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's higher than United is and all that kind of stuff. This is, do you remember how many feet? Is it about 50 feet higher?
Is that the existing tower? Yeah, give or take.
Yeah, which is about 20 to 25 psi.
So down on south, I think the maximum pressure down there that we figure is probably going to be about 75. So it'll be more than enough to, it's certainly going to be a noticeable difference.
Yeah, every place.
Yeah.
Every place.
So at the church, the pressure will be right around 40. And right now I think it's running 15 to 20.
At the Lutheran Church.
Yeah.
Right.
You may end up with a few hot water heaters if they're weak at all. We always do that. Ray may end up with a few water main leaks. I don't know, Odebolt we raised it about 50 feet, and Bill down there ended up with a few leaks. that first year, there's going to be a few pieces of weak pipe that are going to show their face, but there isn't much else you can do. You just have to go through that, and usually isn't too serious.
That last sheet is just a few connection details.
Okay.
In some of the areas that, around the school primarily, the pipe layout as it stands right now is a little bit intricate, so I wanted to blow those up just to give the contractor a better idea of, okay, this line stays, this line needs to be disconnected, this is where we're hooking in the new line. So those are just a few of those details. They're called out on those other sheets to refer them to that.
The old tower is 40,000 gallons?
40,
And this is 125.
Right.
How big a slab is that tower be on then?
The slab is
3 feet?
Huh?
23 feet diameter?
yeah, I think it's 23 feet.
I don't know if I've got it called down on there now.
Yeah, 20 feet.
Okay.
20 feet mean diameter. That's the, that's the ring wall.
What's the depth then?
Well, we won't know that until the contractor will actually design that foundation, and he will have the soil borings and all the design information that we have. So that'll come with the actual design that the water tower.
Now, one of the questions was asked earlier, before you had gotten in, that is it going to be two different contractors to do the project? And I figure we're probably going to have a general contractor, and then the subcontractor will build the tower.
No.
Is that correct?
No. There will be two separate contractors.
Okay, there will be two separate contractors.
There will be two general contractors.
Okay.
First of all, the water main contractor, we've got an 180-day construction period. We want that stuff done this year. We want that done before the end of the year. But the water tower, we can't squeeze that tight because they can't get steel, get it rolled, and get it fabricated that quick. So I've got a 12-month period, construction period for the water tower. You might not see that water tower. What'll happen there probably is the water tower contractor he'll have a subcontractor for the foundation. And that foundation contractor will probably come in late this year, put in his foundation, and you might see that water tower sometime over the winter. And then they'll come in the spring and paint it. They probably won't be able to paint it. They'll probably put it up and get it all ready to go. And it'll be spring then sometime, probably right about this time when everything gets done, because I'm not even sure they can paint right now today. But getting into May, it's a good time to be painting water towers. Actually, you're taking bids at a great time for that, to have a 12-month period on it. So, but that'll be a separate contract.
Okay, yeah, that was, I was under the assumption that's, just based on other projects. General contractor and then one sub. It's not two separate.
The reason we have separate contractors is, you don't want a water main contractor to take a profit or markup or whatever on a $500,000 water tower. Let that water tower handle it himself, and he will. And your other contractor will be somebody like Lindell, Schoen, Lukens, some of these general underground. I think it's big enough that we'll get some contractors from all around the area.
Most of it will be bored then?
No.
About half and half.
Yeah.
So just a lot of the areas that were boring under there, made the decision on boring those simply because existing power lines, trees, storm drains, that sort of thing. Just why disturb them if we don't have to? So it's about half and half. I think it's a little heavy actually on the open cut, but it's just about half.
We're going to take bids on both, and like you said, it's half and half. So we'll have unit prices on both. And if a contractor would want to bore something that we don't have shown born, and it doesn't cost you guys anything more, we can let them do that. So we'll have unit prices on both.
Do we accept the bid line item or?
No, you'll accept it on the basis of this down here. And in general, you have to take the low bid. We call it in there the lowest responsible bid. Very seldom do we have an opportunity to reject a low bid. We have done it. In my career, it's only been done once up in Storm Lake on Lake Shore Drive, where we had a Fort Dodge contractor who hadn't been finishing jobs, and DOT was reject and give and all that kind, and we were able to reject it. There was a controversy up there just this last week. There was a $3,000 difference. Did you read that in the paper? On a street project, Vilas Road, and the local contractor was $3,000 higher.
1%.
Yeah, 1%, and he started raising Cain, but there's nothing he can do about it, because the low bidder is a responsible bidder, you know. We have nothing to say. I mean, he's completed jobs in Stone Lake. So that's part of the bidding laws and the bidding requirements in Iowa, and Jerry was very unhappy, but that's the only thing you can do. With these, we're not going to leave this tonight because it isn't stamped bid copy. We'll take that. He brought another couple along, but we'll send 2 copies down probably tomorrow, or Eric can drop them off or something, and they'll be stamped bid copy. Yeah, we want that back. And then what you should do is on the top of one of those write file, 4, 5, 11, you know, and stuff like that. And then we say that we distribute the plans from the office, but we say that they can come in here and look at them. But you shouldn't let them take any sets out. If they want to come in and look at them, that's fine. But if they want copies, they need to go through our office. That way we can keep a record of who has all the copies.
We'll also get any addendums that might come out, because regardless of how good the plans will look, contractors will always have some questions, and most projects will have some questions that weren't addressed in them. So we'll come out with some addendums, maybe, hopefully we won't have to. But any addendums that do come out, they'll be posted as well, and we'll get copies down to you as well. So any drawing changes, anything of that nature. So I'll be fielding phone calls for the next 3 weeks.
So what the next step is then, did you give them copies of this at all, Tammy? Or?
I didn't give them copies of that, but I did the resolution.
Okay. You have to introduce a resolution and pass a resolution where you're fixing the time and place for the bids and the hearing. And what we have recommended is Thursday, April 28th at 3 o'clock, we'll open the bids here at this table. That's not a council meeting, but you're welcome to come in and observe the opening of the bids if you want to. Then we'll take those under advisement. If we got a contractor that we need to check on, references, all that kind of stuff, we'll do that on Friday and Monday. And then Tuesday, we'll come back down, and that's when you'll have your hearing. And that's the legal part of this, where you have to have a hearing, allow the people to object if they want to. You open the hearing, hear the objections or whatever, then you close the hearing, and then we recommend award or rejection. You have 3 options at that point. You can award the contracts, you can reject the contracts, or you can hold them in abeyance to a future meeting that you set. If there's some question, you know, or if there's a budget problem or something like that.
You ever rebid?
Oh yes, we have, but it's not a nice process, because once these people have bid, their prices are on the table then.
We went through that with the
Lagoon, did you?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
That was ugly.
Yeah. It's not a good practice, but sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes it just has to be done. Did it help with the prices?
No, not real. I mean, they were right about what they were, but it let the other ones see
That's right.
what the other guy had, and it flip-flopped. That's what it did.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It's not,
which was,
it's unfortunate.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's not fair to that low bidder a lot of times at that point. And sometimes you lose that low bidder.
we did.
Yeah, you did, okay.
We lost it.
Yeah.
It flip-flopped.
Yeah.
Between, there were only 2 bids. and it flip-flopped.
Yes.
So,
Well, I'm pretty sure you'll have more than 2 bids on these water mains, because the contractors still have not got their workloads filled up yet for this year.
So, when does the 6-month time period start for the water mains?
Okay, you'll take bids, you'll award the bids on the 3rd. Then the next morning, we put contracts together and bond forms, and we send them out to that low bidder that you've awarded to. And it takes him 10 days, or plus or minus, to fill those out and get them back. So you'll have to have probably a special meeting, at which time then you'll authorize the mayor to sign the contracts. And then, after that, depending on how fast the guy wants to get started or can get started, we'll have a pre-construction conference. So we're looking at probably the 3rd to 4th week of May before anything reasonably could get started and the contractor's ready to go. And that's when the time period would start. Now, if he isn't ready to start, we can start that time for him, okay? But if he's ready to start within a week or two, we usually work with him, you know. But if let's say he's got another job in Sac City that he wants to spend 3 to 4 months on, we're not gonna wait 3 to 4 months, we're gonna get started and start that time running. Okay, so it's kind of a work with the contractor at that point, to a point.
Well, April 28th is on a
Thursday.
And that'll be held in the evening? Oh,
No, 3 o'clock, yeah. You want me to read your resolution?
No, I see.
You see it up here, because I could read it to you.
And then, 7 o'clock for the 3rd. So what we need to do is pass resolution 105, right? We'll make a motion to do so.
I'll second it. Kugel? Jahan?
Yep.
Brinkman? Yep. Davis?
Yes.
Schumacher?
Yes. Okay,
That's all. That's it? That's all on that issue? Unless you have